It Chapter 2, the most anticipated horror movie of the year, is finally here in theaters, and before I talk about it, I gotta confess something. I never read the books. You can hate me. It's fine. But I saw the two-part miniseries from the 90s with Tim Curry, which I really liked. Even a bit of part 2 that wasn't as strong as the first one, in my opinion. The film shows the Losers Club after the events of the first one. It has passed 27 years, and at this point, everyone has their own lives, they have their jobs, some are married, and all of them left the town, except one that became devoted to being alert if Pennywise eventually could come back. When an incident happens involving the scary clown, he calls the group so they can fight and hopefully stop this creature. I was already on board when they announced the cast for this movie. And after watching it, I gotta say that James McAvoy, Bill Hader, Ames Ransom and Jessica Chastain were really good as the characters. And Jay Ryan did a decent job too, but I found myself really annoyed by its character and some of the emotions didn't feel as strong as the others. These characters and their friendship were definitely the core of this story. The bond between them, even if 27 years passed, it felt real and really special. It sure is the stronger aspect of the movie. The humor was something that I was really surprised by it. The mood in a lot of scenes, even when the characters were put in horror scenarios. A lot of jokes kept popping up. Jesus, it's funny that in an almost 3-hour runtime of an horror movie, there are more jokes than jump scares. I'm not joking, guys. Really, I'm really surprised by it. It really is a funny film overall and really worked within the narrative. The production design is fantastic, the visuals, the camera work, the creepy locations and oh my god, Pennywise makeup. It was really well done. When creepy stuff happens, creepy imagery is a really strong aspect. There are lots of scary and disgusting things coming out of other disgusting things. And one particular scene really scarred me for life. I just hate spiders. Go see the movie and you'll know what I'm talking about. The sound is also something to praise. And as I said before, in an almost 3-hour movie, there are just a few jump scares here and there. Some of them predictable, of course, but others really kept the pace of the scene. I always defend that a jump scare doesn't cause fear, it just makes you jump out of your seat for a second, and sometimes almost gives you a heart attack. But here in this film, some of them really hold you to the ground and earns the scene. Another thing that I liked here was the references and the cameos. I won't spoil it for you, but was something really cool. Now, in terms of story, I liked the way things went, but some decisions didn't work for me at all, involving some split-ups and time alone with characters. In the end, it really pays off, but the movie could easily have less runtime. This leads to my biggest problem with the film. There's a lot of wasted runtime in meaningless things, causing damage to the pace of the film. For example, the first movie had a lack of Pennywise in terms of lines and appearances, in my opinion. In this one, there's really a lot of scenes with the clown, but there's a lot of time where he never appears, making you miss him. This is all due to the character building moments that were effective, but became repetitive. My point is, emotional moments are difficult to execute, but important if the movie wants us to be rooting for the characters. However, it needs to be balanced, and past the 2 hours leading up to the final act, I was thinking to myself, okay, I already care enough for the characters, stop throwing emotional stuff at me. That was a strange letdown and took away the tension in some scenes and made the story drag itself. It really did, and some of the people watching this movie can find this film boring because of it. Extending the runtime like this, it's a really big risk. In the end, the movie lived to its potential according to my expectations. I would say that just like the ones with Tim Curry, I appreciate part 1 a little more, just because it felt more suspenseful in my opinion and fresh. With that being said, this is a great movie. I had a really good time with these characters and the story itself was interesting enough, despite the flaws that I mentioned. I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10. Let me know in the comments what did you think about this movie. If you liked my content, subscribe for more reviews in the future. See you guys.